Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video we're talking about Skylords Reborn, and there's a very huge new update called the Fire Season or Seasons. So what seasons are is that it will run for 4 months, and for the first season we have the Fire Season, and it is very interesting because this is the first time where when the Skylords Reborn there's an update, it will be a seasonal kind of like challenge. So there are unique rewards that will be available in the season. For example, like new cards called the Fire Wormings. Some Fire Wormings there. Several other cards also for the Hellhound. So what is also special is that currently you are unable to buy any of these cards, and you can only get these new cards through the season, the Fire Season. And with the Fire Season there are different challenges. You can obtain points and you can fill up this like point gauge, and when you reach the point milestone you are able to get the rewards listed. But I will not dwell on this because for today's video it will be RPVE challenge, RPVE Expert Plus map that will be playing pure fire because it is the Fire Season, and there's also a challenge where you have to complete the map on Expert Plus, get the highest rank as possible. And this is a rather fun deck of mine, so it will take longer than expected, but if you want a faster run you can switch out some of the cards in my deck. I won't tell you what cards to switch out, but there's a lot of different strategies that you can take to have your run much more quicker. So without further ado, let's take a look at my run. So as usual for the Expert Plus map, it is edited from the previous difficulty 10, RPV difficulty 10, which was changed quite a while back. So what is the main difference is that this middle tier doesn't have any spawning camps, which helps you defeat the map much more easily. However, of course the camps here are pretty strong if you fight with the tier 2 unit, so I recommend just aiming your tier 3 first and build towers to defend your base while killing off the enemy units. So for fire, you have a very good start because tier 1 and tier 2 units are really strong, but later on you might find some difficulty because fire basically lacks some form of like tanking power. But of course if you use well, the bloodthirst and everything would be sufficient. And this is how I will clear the first camp. Of course I would not be able to clear entirely, but objective is to take down the spawning camp. So I will take down the Skyfire Drake because it deals a lot of damage to my Nomad. Then rush to the spawning camp and have a couple of eruptions there. As you can see, the respawn of the enemy units are quite fast, so you have to just get into it, straight aim for the spawning camp. Of course, at your camp to have at least 2 makeshift towers to defend. If you are very good at micromanaging, mortar towers are better because they deal more damage, but you have to have some ground units to target enemy units, so that is the downside. And also it will not be able to attack any units which is very close for mortar tower. So this map is also made difficult because the fire units have abilities that will be auto cast, as shown from the Sun Striders. It can suppress buildings. In the beginning it is very simple. Clear the spawning camp, and then right after that very easy to clear the remaining enemy units, and from here just get up all your powers and monument because the enemy units here won't be attracted. But later when you build defensive towers, make sure to not build in front of the power well. Make sure to build side by side. If you build it in front, it will aggro the base here and your monument will just be destroyed. So for my tier 2 tower, I would have the Fire Affinity Pyromaniac because this is a tower that deals a lot of damage for ground units because of its rage ability, but of course the downside is that it can only attack ground units. And for the Skyfire Drake, just have a couple of eruptions to kill it, or if you want to use Nomad you can do so, but recommend you to have the eruption for the flying unit and 4 to 5 of these Pyromaniacs, because note that the Sun Striders can use its ability to suppress your tower's attack, so you need more tower to destroy the enemy unit. And I'll have my Fire Stalkers to aggro the unit. But what you can also do is to have Skyfire Drake to take down the Boom Brother or some range unit, because after a while, as you can see that my tower is not in range with the Boom Brother, so that kind of sucks. And the issue with Boom Brother is that it can only attack ground units, so your Skyfire Drake will be totally safe from its attacks. And yeah, this is terrible. I lost 200 power from my power wells getting destroyed. Yeah, so once enemy units are destroyed, very easy to take down the remaining fire buildings and get your tier 3. Now I got tier 3, my main attacking force will be the magma hurlers. I got Shrine of War to get back void power quickly. And of course, again, I recommend you to have at least 5 magma hurlers, because again, this base is pretty strong with the Sun Reaver and Skyfire Drake. So magma hurler isn't exactly very tanky, 1100 health. So the more the merrier, because when it casts Unity, your magma hurlers are even much more tankier because they share their health all together. So once your tier 3 monument is up, also make sure to build your defenses here. You have to make sure that it doesn't aggro the units here, the enemy units, because it is considerably close. As you can see, yep, it's already aggroed. So once you aggro, you have to send your units back to run away from these enemy units, because they are too strong for your magma hurlers to handle for now. So once you run back, make sure to try not to aggro the units here and just take down this small base here. So let's go. Okay, again the spawning camp must be destroyed first. And once you are done, for this camp I would recommend you to build 4 Mogley traps. This will be enough to take down most of the enemy units. So Mogley traps are the way to go. Because I just want to have a lot of Mogley traps, it is a little bit of overkill, so I'll show you what is the overkill later on. Again, yep, the attraction is really strong, so I have to just send one of my fire stalkers and just keep building Mogley traps. But this is overkill. Do not build too many of these Mogley traps. I was just having too much fun, so there's a lot of Mogley traps around, but not necessary at all. So what you can do is to just have your fire stalkers attract the enemy units and not have your whole army here. Works as well. As you can see, a couple of Mogley traps will do the job. That was totally an overkill. Here you can have about 2 will be fine. Because now you got your Juggernaut and more magma hurler, the army isn't that difficult to take down. So as you can see, it's quite easy. And for tier 4, make sure to build some defenses first. Volcano. Yep, I don't really need my magma hurler, because what we are doing now is to have comet catchers to run us through the entire map. And the reason why you want to have 3 Volcano of the Fire Affinity is because sometimes the enemy units continues to come and it is very difficult for you to repair the Volcano. So it's either 3 of the Fire Affinity Volcano or 2 of the Green Affinity Volcano, because they have a self-regenerative ability once they hit a damage threshold for the Green Affinity Volcano. But they deal less damage, so I'd rather have more damage, because this is a fun Expert Plus map run, so I will have a lot of power as the time ticks by and goes on. So what I did here was the 2 comet catcher right in the middle, because enemy units will be spawning and attacking my monument, so I can't rebuild any comet catchers in the middle of the map. So my first 2 will just be at the side of the map, but honestly, over at this area it is good enough to aim the entire map, because the range is pretty far. So don't have to worry too much on it. But I still recommend you to build some here, because if you just build your comet catcher way too behind, it might be hard for you to be attacking the camps at the corner of the map. So as you can see, this is my main attacking ground. But it is really very slow, because fire cards are very strong and they will almost instantly kill off your unit. So you have to have quick hands, quick hotkeys to bring the comet catcher down to destroy the base. If not, it will be really difficult. Yep, all the comet catcher, this is what I do. Right, so this will be exactly how I'll run the entire map. As you can see, volcanoes getting damaged quickly, so recommend you to get at least 3 volcanoes. And not only that, I also think that the Green Affinity will require 3 volcanoes, because the Sunstriders here would suppress the volcano, and if you only have 2 volcanoes, only 1 would be working or attacking the unit. So totally recommend 3 volcanoes. Alright, so I have my comet catcher built in the center of the map, and as you can see, I got Thunder Vagrant. The reason why I have Thunder Vagrant is that when you activate its rampage, it moves quickly and just blows through the entire fire army. So it is a lot faster than having your slow Moloch. So yeah, even though Moloch is very tanky, as you can see, it gets killed very quickly, so you just have to rush your units into the middle of the camp and cast all of your comet catchers right away. Yeah, so this is how I'll be killing the entire camp for all of the fire camps. So I'll just have it at a fast speed so that we can just see how I slowly take down the camps one by one. Over here is the next one. As you can see, it got destroyed quickly. So as you can see, I got fire spear also to help me take down the enemy camp. Okay, there's some problems with the synchronization, so I have to re-record that part, but before that happened, everything remains the same, so not to worry about it. Okay, so let's continue the replay. Alright, let's continue the replay, and we have destroyed the area here. So next up is to take down the boss of the molten golem. Yeah, so it can be quite hard to kill off the boss because they have a lot of health. So there will be quite a number of comet catcher that you have to rain down on it before killing it. Just continuously go over there to the golem and slowly rain down, and yup, that is it. The golem is killed. And I have so many of the comet catcher, I got 6 of them, so I can just continuously rain down as long as my ground units are tanky enough. So that is a very easy destruction for the camp. And here as well, as you can see, the Juggernaut got killed so quickly, but I just need a couple of seconds for me to summon all of the comet catchers down and get rid of this Temple of Fire. This is the building that you want to destroy, the spawning building. Explosion, and of course, because the Moloch has 90% less, takes like 90% less damage from range and magical attacks, it will take a while to kill. So I would recommend for the Moloch to get your Juggernaut in because it has XL counter and it's a melee unit, so that would take down the Moloch pretty easily. Yeah, I got my Juggernaut. Yeah, very simple. And our final 2 camps up here. Once you're at the last few camps, it gets pretty easy because you do have a lot of spawning enemy units to take care of, and the camp or the fire units here isn't as strong. I would say the boss like the fireback and just not the flame golem isn't really very strong. They just have a lot of abilities that prevent you from healing health or probably like damage reduction ability. But other than that, if you got your comet catcher, similar to the World Breaker gun, the comet catcher has really strong attack, so it will not hinder you in killing off all of the boss units. And yeah, this is how I defeat this RPVE map of the month for June 2025, and hopefully you get to complete this map on pure fire and get the points you require for the fire season. And yes, this is the end, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys again real soon.